The last thing they want to convey is that our ships aren't safe. But we have some egregious examples.
2 separate collisions of U.S. Navy ships in the Pacific. The first was a USS Fitzgerald. It hit a commercial vessel off the coast of Japan, killing 7 sailors.
The damage was so crippling, the victims never escaped their flooded sleeping quarters.
7 people are dead, and the ship is limping into port, and we're hoping it can get there. And before we could really even get that report and turn it around, John S. McCain.
This is one of the Navy's worst at-sea disasters in decades.
John S. McCain hit a different commercial ship 2 months later.
Divers found remains of some of the missing American sailors, both inside the ship and at sea.
Are we hearing anything from the U.S. Navy about what may have actually happened?
Let's forget about the blame game for a moment, and let's just fix the problem so it doesn't happen again.
Do you believe that every sailor understands that they each have a personal responsibility for some aspect of safety of navigation of the ship? And the answer at the time was no.
The system is broken, but nobody wants to admit that.
Because we've got a system that's operating under such high stress on an average day, we can't get the whole job done.
I've got to get 28 hours of work done in a 24-hour day and still have enough time to sleep.
There's also retaliation that happens. They understand what pushes people's buttons and what doesn't.
Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat or lie. You will still encounter a bad leader.
A lot of folks have, mental health issues kind of unmasked while they're out there.
They're 18, 19, 20 years old. We're putting weapons in their hands and they're protecting you.
Driving a few $100 million warship around, and he's barely old enough to have a driver's license.
We give them an impossible job and then blame them when they can't do it.
And for many of these accidents, like Deepwater Horizon is one, 3 Mile Island, somebody's going to be quoted as saying, I never knew it could do that.
Unfortunately, that right constellation comes together. You have to make a decision, and you might be compromised, and all of a sudden now you have an incident.
And that's all knowable, preventable stuff. So why would you just ignore that when there's something that you can do about it if you kind of understand it?
The breakthrough for us was this idea that each of these is representative of all the other mishaps at sea in the last 20 years.
If we are not safe, nothing else matters.